Morning, folks. It's about 7 minutes away from Mystical Misfits Meditation at 7 a.m. Central in Omaha, Nebraska. If you're up early with me, welcome. And just getting things cranked up so the notifications go out. I'm going to update my page here. So see if I'm going out. And right back with you. I'm kind of preceding these meditations with some reflections on the craft of meditation, if that's what it is, the art of meditation or the skill of meditation or just the floundering around of meditation. Let me just get my page up and I'll get into something like that. There we are. I see a few of you already online. And I tried pulling up 2 pages at once yesterday, but I ended up freezing up my whole system, so I'm just going to stick with my personal Facebook page. So if you're on and say hello and I don't acknowledge you, just know that I'm not, I haven't seen you yet. So I'll figure out some way to get more pages up at once. But yeah, so today I thought I would actually reflect for a couple moments on the natural world. And I do a lot of walking meditation as well, and more and more so all the time, really. Appreciate that form of meditation, and part of the reason for that is just intuition. Intuition on my part, but it's been discussed for centuries on other people's parts. That all of creation is literally an embodiment of God's active love for us. That it is. If you want to know what divine love looks like, look out your window or go for a walk. It's a tree, it's the forest, it's the pond, it's it's all those things, and so every bit of nature really is. It's not. It may because it's in the material world. It may not be an exact reflection of that love. It kind of works through limited means like we do, but it is nevertheless points to God. And as the Quran says, even the flap of a bird's wings gives praise to Allah. The Psalms speak about all of creation actively involved in the worship of God. Hey, Becky, John, Tracy, Pat, good to see you guys online. And so, because we're created in God's image and likeness, I also think that what's out there is also a map of what's in here. So it's both showing us what God is like, what God's love looks like, feels like, tastes like, smells like, but it also reflects who we are. Inside us, there are raging rivers and still quiet ponds and peaceful valleys and tornadoes, and there are mother bears that are on the attack because of their young are threatened, and there are also gentle sheep. So they're all part of an ecosystem of the divine, which we are very much immersed in. And so oftentimes, when people even come and say to me, I've never had an experience of God. You scratch below the surface and you turn out, well, actually, they discover that no, they have had intuitions of God's presence, and almost all the time it's been in nature. If they think that they haven't had it, they just start talking about how they experience the natural world. A lot of times people wake up to the fact that there is a God through nature. And of course, we have a lot of people who say, "Well, that's why I don't go to church. I'd rather go to, go into the mountains. I can find God more readily in the mountains or by the streams or the forests." And my response is always, "Well, any idiot can find God there." It's like, find God in church. Now that's where it really takes the spiritual muscle. So anyway, but I find then that one of the things I like to do in walking meditation is to kind of go through a similar pattern actually that we are doing now. I may change it up, but I also may use this exact pattern, just extend the time of it. And so as I go, I'm also though just kind of letting that subject of meditation be in the back of my mind, and more on the front of my mind is just deeply appreciating the natural world around me, just loving that tree, loving being amused by the squirrels and so forth. And then oftentimes something will strike me that I've seen that by analogy just kind of flips a switch inside regarding the subject that I've been meditating on, and that happens on a pretty frequent basis. And so that's why I like to get out there. I've got a membership to Lauritsen Gardens for when the woods paths in the Fontenelle Forest, where I also have a membership, are muddy, and really enjoy getting out and experiencing God in that way in nature. And of course, that's why I also get away every year or two. Band in Oregon, which I've written about quite a lot, because it's just kind of a full immersion experience in the natural world, and therefore a full immersion experience in God's active presence and love as well. So anyway, there's Eric's nature talk for the morning. I'm looking forward to the better weather, snow being behind us, hopefully, even I'm saying that, and getting out to do more walking meditations. And there's other ways you can do walking meditation. Maybe as it gets better weather, I'll talk about that too. So, but I see our time is swiftly upon us. I'm going to get my thing pulled up here. For those of you who may just be joining us, I use the Insight Timer. That's a free app in the Apple Store, and I think there's an Android version. If anybody knows that there's an Android version of this, if you wouldn't mind messaging me so I don't have to say I think there is, I can say I know there is, and refer people to it. So anyhow, so this is the app, and what we're going to do is go through 4 5-minute segments, and just a second here. 4 5-minute segments, and I'll give instructions about what to do during each of those segments. By the way, if these are helpful for you, don't hesitate to share them on Facebook too. We have it's nice to see we have a gradually growing audience, and I know the Darkwood Brew page is really perking up as Darkwood Brewers discovered that we're doing this too, so it's great to see you guys again. And anyway, let's begin by taking a deep breath in, letting out slowly. In so doing, clearing away whatever obstacles may be within you to experiencing the presence of the Holy, letting yourself gradually let go of all blocks of fear, anxiety that keeps you from openness to the Holy. And we give thanks that the Holy is present, both through the natural world around us, deep inside us in that well of our being. And the Holy has also joined us online through those hearts and minds of those who are meditating with us. As we become consciously aware of the others with us, that we also become entangled in some way with them in a way that helps us in our own meditation. As we join together now, let us consider the last 24 hours of our lives, asking, where have you found signs of love, specifically, especially? Love extended to you in any, even the most mildest way, and love that you give. Scriptures tell us that God is love. If you connect with love, you connect with God. Sometimes that bell rings and you've gone deep on this, you've just gotten started giving thanks. Nevertheless, let's take another breath in, let it out. And so doing, we now draw our focus towards someone we care about who may be struggling right now. We locate within ourselves some empathetic channel, something where we can relate to their pain, if only by analogy. And we bow more deeply to the holy, asking that the holiness come and fill us and heal that part within us that can feel the pain of another. And only once we've reached that state of calmness and peace within ourselves, then we call to mind the one of our focus. Ask that that same peace, that same vital energy be with them as it is with us. Now we let that person of our focus simply go to the back edge of our consciousness. You may want to take another breath in, let it out, and as you do so, bow more deeply into the presence of the Holy. I envision on my hands and knees, I'm that deeply surrendered. So I consider, and I invite you to consider my own needs, your own needs. What could you use help for today, this coming week, that matters to you? Sometimes we ask for such things and the whole day or a week goes by without being answered. The key is to keep asking if it still matters. Sometimes the door needs to open that can't be opened without breaking another's free will. Or timing just isn't right. If it matters to you on a soul level, you can count on the fact that it matters to the Holy, provided you ask for the right thing. And that right thing being something that would be alignment with the Holy, as it is with your own need. You can expect that the Holy wants to give you what you're asking for if it aligns with its own desires for you and for the world. So pay attention to your thoughts, the images in your mind. Now you may want to simply slide into letting go completely. Just gently let yourself let go of all desires, all anxiety, all needs. Simply be in the presence of the Holy. And let the Holy decide where this meditation goes. Let go of any need to control or manipulate or to guide it in any way. Well, there must be something in the air last night and this morning. Boy, we were all swimming into some deep waters, I think. I don't know if you sense that or not, but that was thick. There seemed to be a number of people deep into it. I don't claim to be clairvoyant or anything like that, but I do trust my intuitions and the connections we have. Thank you for helping me with my meditation. I hope my heart helped you in some way, and look forward to doing this again. Missed these over the weekend, and so it's nice to be back in the week and doing them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. During Lent, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. And again, don't hesitate to share these things on Facebook with your friends. Invite your friends to participate if you feel so moved. I understand not everybody would want to do that. And also, if you have any experiences you feel moved to relate, feel free to do that either on the public space or by messaging me privately too. So enjoy hearing from you and your own experiences. So thanks, and look forward to seeing you again soon.